In this video, we're going to be looking at labor costs and the associated documents along with that, as well as the journal entries. Time tickets are what companies use to track how much time employees spend on each job. These time tickets are used to update the job cost sheets to record direct labor. Time tickets may also be used to record indirect labor costs. If you look at the timesheet, it has a ticket number that's serially numbered, the job number, and the employee who worked on that job, and the dates and times they worked on the job. And then, of course, there's a supervisor signature. These time tickets are used to update the job cost sheets. Time tickets, as well as salary contracts for managers and supervisors, are used to update the indirect labor costs in the factory overhead ledger. Now let's go look at the journal entries. Whenever direct labor is used, the company will debit the work in process inventory because direct labor is part of the job cost sheet. They're going to debit work in process inventory and credit factory wages payable, or cash if they're cash wages. Let's go to Excel and see how to record that. This is the same spreadsheet we used earlier to record direct material costs. I'm just going to continue with that. So now when we look at direct labor used, we're going to debit work in process inventory for direct labor used. So let's go ahead and record direct labor used. Increases work in process inventory, and then we're going to credit factory wages payable. I'll title that later, but the credit goes to factory. So this is direct labor used. And then let's label that account factory wages payable. Now, let's go back to PowerPoint. We're going to look at indirect wages. For indirect labor used, you're going to debit the factory overhead account and credit factory wages payable. Let's look at it in Excel. Indirect labor used, debit factory overhead account and credit factory wages payable. Here's your factory overhead account. So this is indirect labor used. That increases the factory overhead account. And then again, we're going to credit factory wages payable or cash if they were paid with cash. We're going to be looking at overhead next. However, I want you to start noticing something about certain accounts. Work in process inventory account is where we record all the information that's in the job cost sheet. So this one will have all the job cost sheet information. You have direct material used, direct labor used, and later on you're going to see that we will have overhead applied. For actual overhead incurred, we're going to be recording those in the factory overhead account. So just bear that in mind as we go through these lectures, and you'll see the full picture by the time we're done with all the journal entries. That's it for this video. Please let me know if you have any questions.